This fight is for my teachers, my students. Yeah. It's not for me.
On April 23rd of 2014, the Chicago Board of Education voted to turn around Dvorak Technology Academy School, Ronald E. McNair Elementary School, and Walter Q. Gresham Elementary School because of low academic standing. For generations, Gresham has been a part of the Auburn-Gresham neighborhood located on Chicago's South Side.
I'm a grandparent. My name is Mrs. Kelly, and I'm concerned about them taking Gresham School. I am a Gresham alumni. My children did go here. My daughter's working on her master's, and now my grandchildren are here.
I'm very disappointed and saddened by the board's decision to turn our school around because we have some wonderful teachers here, wonderful staff and administration.
So the Chicago Public Schools, under the direction of the mayor, proposes these turnarounds where essentially the entire staff is fired, from the cafeteria worker through the principal. A brand new staff is brought in with a great deal of resources. All the things that the school should have received prior to the turnaround, the school is then offered after the turnaround.
The turnaround schools will be regulated by the Academy for Urban School Leadership, a nonprofit school management organization currently managing 29 schools and serving 17,000 CPS students.
So what comes with the turnaround is an influx of cash, right? And the turnaround operator is paid a fee to operate the building. You know, so CPS essentially provides cash for AUSL to operate and run the schools that they turn around. And so there's a financial benefit to AUSL to receive the turnaround contract because they're going to receive cash as a prize.
AUSL will receive 3 forms of funding: the budgeted amount per student for CPS schools, an additional $420 annually per student for the next 5 years, and a one-time payment of $300,000 for startup costs.
What makes the turnaround model incredibly dramatic here in Chicago is that the president of the Board of Education, David Vitale, used to be the chairman of the board for the AUSL operator that comes in and turns, quote unquote, these schools around. It really creates a situation where you ultimately have these no bid contracts where if I am a board member who has direct ties to a so-called turnaround model, of course, you know, it shouldn't be a surprise when David Vitale directs those turnaround dollars to the very company that he benefited and profited from.
CPS issued a statement saying, all Chicago Board of Education members present at the April 23rd public hearing acted in accordance with the board's Code of Ethics policy. CPS and the board are committed to ensuring that all students have access to a high-quality education and strong leadership as demonstrated by AUSL's proven track record of success. Gresham grandparent Gregory Clements wants CPS to fund Gresham opposed to outsourcing to AUSL.
We lost teachers.
Alternative for them to give us the resources that they had taken away over the years. Give us the resources and let us show you what we can do so we can utilize a library that's fully equipped with $30,000 worth of books, but no librarian. What sense does that make? We have no science teachers. We have a science lab. What sense does that make?
Every year when we have to sign off on the budget, for all 14 years, they have reduced our budget amount. With this being said, we have to also increase class sizes and then have to let the teachers go.
And so after years and years and years of the Chicago Public Schools that are controlled by the mayor refuse to put resources into these buildings, it should not be a surprise that students are not meeting their full potential.
They're not looking at anything but the buildings, and our children's is not a business. We're very upset about that. They're not a business. Take your business somewhere else. Leave our school alone.
Last year, CPS spent over $7 million on building renovations to Gresham to co-share the building with the charter school. Brown recalls a comment from CPS CEO Barbara Burke Bennett about the charter cancellation.
And when she personally informed me last year that the charter was not going to move in, she thought out loud. And I heard that. I listened very well. And she said, but now, this is a quote, but now we have to figure out what we're going to do with that building, unquote.
A running sort of axiom, if you will, within the public school buildings and throughout teacher conversations in the city, that if you are in a black, poor community that's in a school that's falling apart, and if you start to get resources in that building physically, new windows, painting, any of those physical upgrades, the understanding is that those upgrades are not for you. That means someone else is coming in.
It is for my teachers here, and like Ms. Lewis said, they discriminate when they hire. My older teachers, they will have a hard time finding a job.
You know, some do find employment, but again, the places of employment that these veteran teachers who are mostly black, the places of employment that they're likely to find are in school communities that are likely to be turned around yet again.
The kids are going to come back to a school where it's going to be alien to them. A totally transformation with all new staff, all new teachers, administration, and our children have grown to love the staff, the teachers, and administration. That's going to be like a culture shock for them.
We're like a family here. We all together, we love each other, we look out for the children, and we stick together. We don't need anyone coming in there interrupting our family.
On May 16th, the Gresham community held a sit-in to reverse the board's ruling. The protest ended with CPS agreeing to meet with parents. CPS CEO Barbara Burt Bennett said in part, "We do not take a decision to bring systemic change to a school lightly, but will not waver when it is in the best interest of our children and are 100% committed to a smooth transition for our students."
Let's strike turnaround and put in takeover. The school's been taken over. That's a big difference from turnaround to takeover. If you're going to turn around, you will provide the necessary resources and means for something to turn around. And they came in and they're taking full control of the facilities, okay? Displacing all the staff, teachers, faculties, cafeteria workers, janitors, security, everyone is gone. Okay, that's a takeover. Okay, so that's not a turnaround. What do you think?